The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the participant or caller and do not reflect the views of WinFM 98.9. WinFM reserves the right to disconnect any caller who infringes the law or offends the right of any person. The station will also refuse to take any call from any person who, in WinFM's considered opinion, is likely to expose the station to liability for statements made on the air.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Island Tea, right here on Win Media SKN. And we are so excited to be here, right, Jade? The level of excitement in the studio is incomparable. No? That's not what's happening? Well, let me tell the people that we're happy to be here, and it's November 24th, Thursday. And you're here with your faves, me, Azem. What's that being Mojo?
Oh, it's a doctor.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Mojo, but I think you got underscore something. I'll send it to you. I'll message you. But yeah, you're here with your faves, me, Azem, and of course, I'm joined by the lovely Jade, Gwenny Gwenadita, CPL Martha Stewart Johnson, who has her Ultra Cup, sipping on some, what is that, scissor?
Some coffee.
Oh, coffee. Oh, wow.
Depredators.
Yeah. So Island coffee today, guys.
Can't do the teaching.
Island coffee. I can't wait until we have our local coffee brand, locally grown coffee beans that brew world-class coffee. It's gonna be happening soon, Jade. I was one of the reason I know this is, remember one day I came on the air and started. Well, I wasn't ranting, but I was suggesting that we should go into some of these other types of crops.
As you do.
And then someone told me, like, hey, there's already a farm here looking to grow coffee.
Vibes.
But the thing is that, well, at least to my knowledge, coffee is one of those things. You probably got it like for
Next 5 years.
Oh, not in SK. in SK fees like every.
I think it was Monday.
Okay.
Yes, our Nevis Premier has responded to the Evangelical Association's letter.
And of course, he said thank you very much, and I will comply.
I'm not sure about that,
That's wow.
but let's see.
Okay.
The Premier of Nevis, Honorable Mark Brantley, confirms the receipt of a letter from the Nevis Evangelical Association requesting the local administration to desist from scheduling the Nevis Island Assembly elections in December. During a town hall meeting hosted by the Concerned Citizens Movement at Butler's Community Center on Monday night, Premier Brantley expressed that he respects the church, but he is not pleased with the tone of the letter, nor does he appreciate the what seemingly is a threat to the administration.
Oh.
There was a letter written to me as a Premier and signed by Reverend Juan Daniels and Reverend Cicely Brown on behalf of the Evangelical Association. I think Nevisians would know that we have two groups, the Christian Council and the Evangelical Association. So they came on behalf of the Evangelical Association and indicated that Advent, which is a holy time of the year, starts on November 27 and runs up to, I believe, Christmas Eve, and that they wanted an assurance that there will be no election during this time because of the holy nature of the period of time. I should say that I welcome, as Premier of Nevis, interactions with the church. The church is an important institution on the island, but I confess that the tone of the letter was a little unfortunate because in the letter they indicate that if I were to call an election in December, they will not stand idly by, and I wasn't so sure what they meant by that because I didn't think it was, just as it will be out of order for me to threaten the church. I think it is out of order for the church to seem to threaten the government. Yeah. It is within the purview as a matter of law of the Premier of Nevis to call an election at any point that he feels to call an election. Those are the rules, and that is the law. And I say, while I welcome interaction with the church, I thought the letter was a little combative when it didn't need to be. In addition, Premier Brantley disclosed that he has officially responded to the letter from the Evangelical Association.
Wait till him, mine are you? No, man, he wouldn't do that.
No, that would have been me.
Ah.
Yeah, that would have been me. But I'm not the Premier, so. Declaring that the election will proceed within the parameters of the law. He also questioned the best available time for hosting of elections, considering the varying periods deemed holy. Notwithstanding that, I have responded to the letter and I have indicated to the church that the election will come when it will come, and we have to deal with it, because the truth is that while Advent is certainly a holy time of year, Advent, I believe, starts on November 27th. It ends on Christmas Eve. I think then there is Christmas Day. Then Epiphany starts on January 6th. It runs all through February, and then Lent starts.
I was about to say, but the whole year is holy. That's the whole year is holy.
Lent runs all through March. The Easter starts.
Then exactly.
Easter runs all through April. So when are we going to have the election?
During the summer solstice. That's a heathen holiday. There's a heathen holiday.
Ah, perfect. That may fit well. So the question is, for me, one of respecting the church, because I will never disrespect the church, but also saying to the church that we have a constitutional responsibility to have an election so that people of Nevis can elect the government of their choice. And we will have to proceed with respect. But we'll have to proceed to do what we need to do to ensure that we stay within the bounds of the Constitution, because we know that the 5 years expire on 19th of December, and then we have an additional 90 or so days, which takes us to about April as an overtime that we will have the election. But that entire period from now until the end of April is a holy period. There may be some argument among Christians as to whether Advent is holier than Lent or holier than Easter. I don't know. I'm not qualified to comment, but I know it's a holy period, so we have responded. Meanwhile, Premier Brantley expresses displeasure with the circulation of the letter from the Evangelical Association into public domain, thus stating clearly that the letter was not leaked from his office. I should say, though, since the question has been posted, that I did have an element of unease and discomfort with the letter written to me by the Evangelical Association could have found its way onto Facebook and public domain. I want to give the public the assurance that it did not come from a Premier's office. So I'm not sure who would have leaked the letter to the public and what the intent of doing so is. But certainly, as I said, I view the church and always respect the church, respect what they do, but the church will also have to understand that the government has its role to play as well.
Well.
The man I can't tell you what to do.
Basically. And lessen the bass in your voice.
Please. But I don't know who I feel like talking to.
Lessen the bass in your voice.
I don't know who I feel or I try to bully here, but it ain't me.
But Jade, even before this response, we were saying the same exact thing. My thing is, they went.
How I guess so?
But the thing about it as well is, what I don't appreciate, right? And this is something that I have this is something that I have been aware of from a very young age. One, if you're making threats, make your threats clear.
Yes.
Because
on playground.
For instance, if because the truth is, without the actual outline of what one can expect to happen, it feels a bit empty. No, I'm not saying that the idea was to threaten the premier or election or whatever. I'm not saying that was it, but the tone of the letter, I think most of us that read it felt the exact same thing. Like even yesterday whenever we were talking about it, that was the whole thing. Was like, the man sounded a little aggressive, bad.
Yeah, like.
But aggression. But it's like aggression, and it's like, okay, so but what you gonna do? What the plan is?
Yeah, cause y'all talking a little crazy. So like y'all sound like y'all threatening the office of the premier. Maybe it's me.
Maybe if it's the office, maybe they were, and that's the problem. The problem is that you don't know exactly what they meant, right? Or what you should expect. You could go back to the first one you had there. Yeah.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody said we sound a little low.
Yeah, so go to mic axe and then just turn up the volume. Yeah. A little up. No, down.
Oh, this one?
Isn't that what we're using?
No, it's this one we're using.
So just beat a little up. Probably count up about 6.
6, okay. Let's see if that works. Testing.
You could probably go up some more.
Yeah. Mary chicks your friend.
Oh.
I know you can't see Mary.
Okay.
Let me see how 7 looking. Let's keep it at yeah. Okay.
So yeah, sorry about that, guys. They're doing some technical stuff here, but
we addressed.
Yeah, but the thing for me is that the other point that was made is, but when is not a holy time?
All year round is holy time. Is always something. You want the man to go up against the Constitution, the rights of the division.
Hey,
population.
it'd be funny if April passed and then everybody just be waiting for election and the premier just says,
"Well, the church tell me don't do it."
Come on, guys, do you expect me to keep an election during a holy time?
Watch you.
That is like
the church.
That is perfect. That is perfect. Dictatorship 101 by.
No, if the man do that, I am vex.
Then say he's Pol Pot. And Kim Jong-il and Un.
King John Mac.
Kim Jong Bradley.
The man can't do that.
Yeah.
Election.
No, but the thing is, I would love some clarity. Can someone? It was Pastor Ron Daniel was.
And somebody else. Hold on. I go back in here.
I would love if they could clear up exactly what the intentions are if elections are to be called. I would love to hear that.
Send out the next letter. and clarify.
Kim Jong drip.
King Jong drip.
That's perfect with you. Perfect.
King Jong drip, yes. My boy is supposed to be laughing up too much when it comes to branding. I just remember.
Yeah, but it's gonna this. The truth is that after this response, I highly doubt we'll hear anything about this again. And
no, I don't go. I say it with the chest now.
No,
they can't do that.
They're going back in the pulpits and relax now.
Miss Reverend Cicely Brown.
Reverend Cicely Brown. Okay.
Reverends, come to the front. Let us know how you feel about this.
No, because I'm very curious. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Me too. I want to know, like, if King Jong Drip decide to have election during the holy period, as y'all deem it.
Election next month, I don't know.
What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna take the ballot then?
I don't.
Exactly.
I don't. The issue for me is that I can't even fathom what the response would be. So that's why I'm so incredibly curious.
Because Mark Jong Un, yeah, get creative with this thing, boy. As in, the truth is, the church does not have the final say on whether elections are held during whatever period they are held.
Miss, you don't go to church, so you wouldn't know this, but the Jehovah has the final say.
Which he transfers to Mark. He doesn't transfer it.
To Mark.
He doesn't transfer it to the churches. I can tell you that. Even though I don't go to church, one thing I know.
Who has the final say?
The Constitution. And the Constitution states that elections must be held during a certain period. Just so happen, the period happens to fall during what a time you deem holy. Ain't my fault.
I guess I saying it could happen in January.
But that's holy time.
It would be another set of holiness.
Everything up to April is holy time.
Pretty much.
So why is it okay for it to not happen during Christmas, Advent, but happen throughout the rest of holy times? So it trumps all the other holy times?
I think so.
Okay, just me know.
But
I don't know.
I don't like when we conflate these issues. And then you start having the discussion about separation of church and state, and this is exactly why.
Just let the people have the election, please, and just...
No, but they're going to vote. Come on, they're going to vote.
They have to... they don't have to.
They're going to vote, yeah.
But they will.
They're going to vote.
So just don't do this, don't do all of this.
The congregation will congregate in the lines.
And cast their X.
In
the name of Jesus. Father and the Holy Spirit.
Things like this that make me feel like you're politicizing the
church, yes, because these are the last people I thought I would hear from during the election period.
Well, no, I don't.
In this way.
But see, that's part of the other sets of the criticisms, because when you start deciding what it is that you're gonna speak out on, then if people have the right now to determine, okay, well, let's speak out on this, but not on this, right?
That's so quiet when it comes to other things, but this is where y'all draw the line.
But even so, the things that happen during Advent, I'm like, this is the stuff that you understand where I'm coming from? Like, election?
To me, right?
Election.
Here what?
Give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's.
One, they're not going to stop campaigning during this period.
Yeah.
Election, there is literally one day. Is one thing to say we don't want to have no type of election talk, no election activities, none of them things during the period.
Jade, Carnival start next week.
I know, but I'm aware. I'm aware, friend.
Oh,
anyway, that's fine. Let's go talk about something else.
Yeah,
I don't figure it out.
Yes,
I can't vote audio, so
and I don't. And I'm gonna be honest here. I would very much prefer to not hear much more about this unless there's some clarification as to the next steps.
And how they're going.
I don't want to hear how the association felt about the response. I don't want to hear about what you think about the premier's character and whatever. No.
Tell us what
I want to know what you want to do. That's why I want. That's why I want to know.
Let me see if I about it.
Other than that,
wake you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, wake you. Pretty much. Something that you might care about if it happens here. Maybe one day.
What, Thanksgiving?
No.
And big up all the Americans out there. Today is Turkey Day.
Who having Thanksgiving dinner here? I'm going to look at it 16 to go. One of them places.
They're going to have it. Yeah.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah, but we have a lot of Americans here looking to celebrate.
But men have none of them as friends. So, I'm going to have to do the next best thing, which is go on 869 and figure out who have...
Thanksgiving special?
Yeah, because, we used to do it CNC. Oh, bless their heart, when they used to have serve lunch right there. Right.
Oh, right there. Yeah, right there.
Right there. Mm-hmm. They used to have Thanksgiving lunch. And I used to indulge in it. It was so good.
Oh, really?
Listen, I love a good piece of stuffing,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, stuffing is well
delight.
seasoned stuffing. Yeah.
Speaking of, side note, moms, I know you're listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget me because as it being a waste of food. Don't forget me again this Christmas. Don't let Azim waste the food.
Mom's guy, man.
I know.
Mom's guy.
I know.
But I'm going back on fish when by. Probably this weekend, yeah.
Friend, you eat fish last weekend?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
a big piece of fish too.
It wasn't a big piece, Jade. It was a big piece in comparison to what you had.
Listen.
In comparison to what you had.
That's a whole fish you had.
What?
That's a whole fish.
Jade, it was a little cube. It was like this big.
Don't lie. The stick was full of fish. It had 3 pieces of bell pepper and all fish. Don't lie. I was there.
Yeah, right. But yeah, going back on fish officially, like.
Happy colonizers there?
Yeah.
Ah, Regine. Wow. You don't worry about that. At least I got food.
Good vibes.
Good vibes and food.
Good vibes and food.
That's all. But yes, I was saying something that you may care about.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
So, paternity leave, to come into effect January 1st. I know this is not in St. Kitts because they don't care about that. Mom must just be home with the baby, fresh out the womb.
We'll get before the next election, man. No way.
So in 2021.
No, if we make it a big enough Facebook post, like Facebook thing, and if like LNT talk about it enough,
that's true.
We'll get paternity leave.
That's true. So the proposed introduction of paternity leave for fathers of newborns and family leave for adoptive parents bringing a new child into the home is slated to come into effect on January 1st, 2023. This is in Jamaica, guys, so don't get too excited. This was stated by Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance and Public Service, Marsha Smith, who also advised that the proposed increase of paid maternity leave from 40 days to 3 months. Y'all only had 40 days.
How much we got, Jane?
3 months? It's 3 months ago?
Paternity leave, you saying?
Oh, no, paid maternity leave.
Paid maternity leave.
Yeah, 3 months ago.
Yeah, we have 3 months.
Oh, gotcha. What? Y'all had 40 days for a fresh baby? Insanity. Wow, will commence on January 1st. She was speaking to the Civil Service Week public forum at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on November 22nd.
Everything on a chill vibe.
What you saying?
Some man gonna be on maternity leave.
Yeah. Them they don't take vacation all year. Them are on a conscience. But yeah, I think this is a good initiative. Paternity leave is something that you know what? I don't understand how these things that we have to put into law. Like, why is it that we have to make a law to say that parents of fresh babies can stay home with them? Certain things in life that I just can't understand. The 3 months for mothers thing, ridiculous, because we all know 3 months is no time for a baby. It is literally no time. I don't even know how it is 3 months in the Caribbean, because some places is up to 6, up to a year and stuff. When we're going to modernize the thing and start to treat the babies like they're here and they're human and they need the love and care and attention of the parents. You know how hard it is to have a fresh baby? It is very difficult. And y'all had mothers home by themselves for 3 months. Fathers can't stay.
So Bulgaria have the longest with 58.6 weeks.
I need to move to Bulgaria.
Greece has 43 weeks.
They like black people over there?
If you play football.
No, I can't go. What about Greece? How Greece looking?
Greece is 43 weeks.
No. They like black people over there? Okay, no, that way talking.
The United Kingdom is 39 weeks.
I kind of like black people. Yeah. That's not okay, no?
Slovakia has 34 weeks.
No, I know they like black people.
Croatia has 30, Chile 30, Czech Republic 28, and Ireland is 26.
Let's get up to the times here, people. Amend the thing. Ain't hard. Yeah, let's make all kind of rules and regulations for things that we don't need. Maternity and paternity leave, important. Very important. It's babies we're talking about. They're not animals, like an elephant. They could start to walk from time they drop out. Babies don't do nothing but let down and cry. So let's give them the care and attention they need. And make paternity leave a thing here. Please? Please? At least give us paternity leave. I know y'all ain't gonna move that 3-month thing no time soon. At least give us some paternity leave.
And then let's hear I love to hear the arguments against paternity leave.
What argument can...
Oh, no. Some men can take the paternity leave and then they don't help out the mother.
It is also very difficult for businesses as well to go without their workers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, however, that's why you have other workers. Everybody can be pregnant at the same time.
No, but this is what happens, Jade. One of the arguments for paternity leave is that it levels the gender gap in terms of employment. Because, for instance, if you give a mother a year off from work, right? People can probably just walk out by, I think I just say all men. Seriously, but it's already a consideration.
And if you hire all men, at least give the men them some paternity leave.
But that's what I'm saying now. So then, if paternity leave goes up as well, then it lessens. You're not as incentivized, at least in that particular way, to hire majority men. But yeah, it's difficult.
Hey, is there a paternity leave in it?
I don't think so.
Somebody telling me that there is. I tried to figure out if when I had Jaden, his father was home with me.
I don't.
No, because he took vacation.
Yeah.
He had to take vacation.
Yeah, that's like what most people do is they take vacation as well as their maternity leave. Right. So. Yeah.
Has to be married to the mother? That's nonsense. That is nonsense. Oh, up to he.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of that's.
Oh, I know. I'm saying. Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna tell a crazy story after.
So yeah, I think. But let's not even go down that road. But there's reasons. There's a lot of reasons why paternity leave are good things that come out of men take paternity leave. There's some countries as well that
you mean like them taking care of the kids?
No, I mean like outside of the obvious, Jade.
I'm like.
For instance, the connection between parent and child that is developed in a way that otherwise would not be if there's that less time spent with the child in those formative months. It gives men an even deeper understanding for what it is that their partners or the mothers have to go through, because and a lot of times that then helps the relationship as well, and we know those first few months after the child could be a real trial for relationships, right?
Yes, it is difficult.
It even helps men to develop certain skills because being in the home may have to take up more responsibilities like cooking, cleaning, etc. So
childcare.
You develop those skills. So yeah, there's a lot of different pluses. Of course, see people that say F a business here, but you want to check.
Yes.
Yeah.
The business also should understand that this person is valuable enough to be able to take some leave. Like we work as if we think about the ratio of time we work throughout the year compared to the time that we off, it is ridiculous.
I understand. What I'm saying is the issue is going to always be what is the proper balance.
What if the man has multiple births in the same year that the man?
The congratulations?
Yeah, they were. That's what we're supposed to do. Y'all is a poke weight. The man doing work.
So I think that is the. So these are kind of even when I hear people talk about reasons why paternity leave shouldn't be too long, as long, or shouldn't exist in the same. These are some of the arguments that you hear, right? But you're gonna have to at some point figure out what the balance is, and I think that's kind of what it is. Like, different countries have different ideas about the balance is. The other issue that we have is as well is that in a lot of cultures, it's not really considered very manly. A lot of times we think because you have
being a father.
No, but being part of being a father for a lot of people is going out and working, providing, doing what you have to do. So I don't think there's a clear correlation between a man who continues working and saying that he doesn't want to be a father because he's working. So I don't like that particular argument. But what we have to recognize as well is that even in places where there are paternity leave, a lot of fathers don't take the paternity leave. So for instance, I think it's like maybe in Japan, there are paternity leave, but only like 7% of fathers actually take the paternity leave. Part of that is that it does affect your position in your workplace. So it's all well and good to say, yeah, I'm going to take off 8 months to be with my son, but then when you come back to work and now your ability to climb the ladder is affected, right? Because you been in here in the last 8 months, we promote John. You understand? Coming from you. Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying. So those are the things that you're going to look at when you're deciding if to even take it. So that's what I'm saying. In a lot of countries where there is paternity leave, men don't take it. It's not because they don't want to be a father. It's because it affects their career trajectory.
Yeah, all of those things are issues that need to be fixed. Somebody saying,
but you can't really fix that. If we looking to promote somebody and you're gonna be out for the next 8 months.
No, I understand that.
So
understand that.
And then the promotion ain't coming back just now, right.
Somebody, well, then don't use a condom. Don't procreate. Somebody saying, if a man has multiple births in the same year, does he get leave for one? That is why it's only given to married men. Married men can have multiple children in 1 year.
Yeah, but he was only married to one person under our law. So
yeah, that's fine. But here again, leave based on how many partners you have, you know? No, you're explaining why only married men get it. So he's saying is, yeah, you could have multiple births, but we'll only give it to the child born to your spouse. I think that's kind of unfair, but okay.
Yeah, but the part of it is that like and that's what it is. Like, you have to recognize that these are considerations that business owners are gonna have. Like, for instance, I have a business. I maybe have like, let's say, one main employee, right? Mm-hmm. Even though I have persons that I bring on from time to time. So let's say I have 3 employees. Two of them out of the 3 live in Nevis. Right? So he got a child and then he got to go. Do what it is he got to do. My business like can't function now. You understand where I'm coming from? So it's like, and this is not an argument against paternity leave. I'm just saying that these are the considerations that people that the business is taking have to look at. And the men themselves looking at this. Like, it's not a perfect world to just decide, well, by you're going to take off a year from work. Like, that ain't really how it works.
I don't think a year is what is needed either. I understand that. A year might be way too much. Like, but at least give them 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Start them on a trial.
This is what I don't understand. Why people... This is what I was talking about the other day. You know, people need to stop undermining marriage. Like, people need to stop undermining. This is why marriage don't mean nothing, you know.
But it's not like marriage is a phrase.
It is, like, because it signifies a level of commitment and dedication and duty. So, like, that, like, it signals that, like, that is what it is. Outside of it being a religious construct, which it's not, because this is in all religions across the world, even prior to the religions that we have now.
Mm-hmm. I watched that actual documentary on marriage.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. And how they did it several ways. Did you know that they used to kidnap brides, so they used to have the maid of honors dress up as a certain... so all of them have to dress the same way.
Yeah.
So they had the maid of honor dressed like the bride while they're traveling to go meet the groom, just in case somebody walk out. You know what?
I'm going with you. Yeah.
They're going to figure out which one is she.
That's a real maid of honor there.
Bye. Because me ain't about to get kidnapped because... You got to go look your man. Some me gonna get kidnapped because you gotta go to your man. Like what? Imagine this kids, you and your friend them.
boy,
You and your friend them going to the church and a man is going with you. Cause bye.
While we're living. But yeah, there's a difference there. There's a certain level of
I say
commitment.
you don't stick on this thing, okay? You make me get to talk about why I need to talk about.
No. I'm just saying that there's a certain level of commitment there. So like, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And the construct itself, part of the main reasons for the construct is to foster proper social development and raising of children. So like, I understand if that is something that is looked at when we discussing the rights of fathers. Like, I understand. Right?
Yeah, me are not married. Me not get married. If y'all don't want to get married, that's okay. If y'all want to get married, that's okay. All I'm asking is 6 weeks for the father of them to stay home with the child.
Saying 6 weeks? 6 weeks?
Yeah, like that bad. Anyway.
Mm.
So as speaking of church.
Oh boy, that's how we are today?
Yeah, man. Oh, it has been a church theme day.
Yeah, bye.
Yes. Well, a Louisiana priest has admitted to making a threesome sex tape on church altar.
Wow.
I mean, away on the altar, but
Wow.
there's so many places you could have done this.
I no fear God.
Not at all.
I no fear God, man.
The closest ones them to him. So he had that dinner when he had all the 13 people there, you know, until I gonna betray him. 'Cause he don't know what was going to happen with I. He don't know what was going to happen with I. Well, a Louisiana priest has admitted to filming a threesome on his church's altar and pleaded guilty to felony obscenity on Monday. Somebody said, wait, what? Yeah, man, you heard me correct. A priest has admitted to making a threesome sex tape on the altar. Travis Clark, 39, will serve a 3-year suspended sentence and 3 years of probation, said Warren Montgomery, the district attorney for Washington and St. Tammany parishes. Clark was caught with 2 women on the altar of St. Peter's and Paul Catholic Church in Paul.
St. Peter's and Paul?
Yeah.
St. Peter's and Paul. That's 2. Okay.
1-1.
Right.
In October 2020, during the pandemic, sir, we're not supposed to be home.
The funny thing about this year is like, priests supposed to be like abstaining and stuff.
Yeah. They want to get a
They're
bag.
supposed to be like celibate.
Yeah, they're supposed to be looking nobody at all. What's on the altar? But he
All the
said,
time?
None at a time. None at a time. As in none.
Like, the Catholic Church can't get a break with these things, man.
None. They can't get no kind of break. Lord, bad.
But I'm very upset. I'll tell you why after, God.
A passerby noticed the church lights were a little bright.
Fast.
The man in there doing his thing.
Fast.
Ain't bothering nobody.
Fast, bye.
A passerby noticed the church lights were a little brighter than normal and peeked inside, finding an unholy scene. Clark was half naked with 2 women in corsets, portable stage. What? This man had a whole production. Portable stage lights and 2 recording devices around them, along with sex toys, according to the investigators.
So he was really making a movie?
Yeah, the man was making a movie, man.
Wow.
The women, Melissa Cheng, 23, and Mindy Dixon, fought this sound.
Come on, Jade.
This sound.
This, you can't make this thing up, Jade.
Wait a
Melissa Dixon?
Melissa Cheng
Melissa
and Mindy
Cheng.
Dixon.
Mindy.
They sound like 2 porn stars.
Yes.
Were described as dominatrices for hire. Pastor Freaky. Sorry, here na pastor. What he be again?
Priest.
The priest Freaky. Yeah. What does find these news report? Man, you don't want to know. You don't want to know, my dear. Just say I am doing the Lord's work and bringing these things to y'all. One day before the threesome, Dixon posted on social media about traveling to New Orleans to defile the house of God.
Really?
She said she tell her what she gonna do. Both Cheng and Dixon pleaded guilty to misdemeanors. Clark was defucked by the new. He was defucked before the man.
That he was.
He was defrocked by the new Archdiocese shortly before he was arrested. Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church got rid of the altar.
They got rid of the altar? How you could get rid of the altar?
Well, I mean, the man at the fairly place.
But the altar ain't part of the building.
Well, apparently it was a detachable part.
Wow. Oh, no, I know what I mean by the altar. I know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
So I thought that you mean not the whole.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget how they got the thing set up there.
The Archbishop Gregory Armand ordered it burned and replaced with a new. You're a little fan, old man.
Holy water would have clean up
I'm
that.
telling you, a little Clorox wipes.
Holy water, Jade, right in the back.
You burn it up? Come on.
Are they burnt?
Burnt.
Wow.
Man said, not on my watch. Hey, why freaking this out the church now? Please.
Gotcha. The world got some weird people here.
Aim for that.
Time and place.
Time up, and this was neither nor.
Neither nor time nor the place.
Sir, have a heart. This is why I just watch all your funny, you know. Not saying that a lot of y'all are not real men of the cloth, right? But some of y'all is like when the cloth come off a little too much for me. Y'all just be taking off the cloth a little too much for me.
I keep saying, you know, Jade. I keep saying it, Jade.
Sorry, Bennett, my bad.
When there are certain rules put in place, you got to understand you're gonna track certain things.
Yeah, but if the rules say you're supposed to abstain, how it is that
But,
you're
but
attracted
Jade,
to that?
no, Jade, but that's the point I'm making, Jade. Most men would look at that and be like, die for me. Let me stay out of that energy. You don't go in and then go and do exactly what the people them said not to do.
And you ain't even doing it in a whether it's kind of excusable. Like a little slip up. So you had a full pole production in the people church on the altar with dominatrixes, cameras, lights, action.
That he flew in.
Like, so come on, man.
He flew them in, you know, Jade.
Come on now, man. Lord, man. God was watching you. You forget?
Everybody, apparently.
Bye.
Hey, God working mysterious ways. That was probably just an angel passing by, yeah.
Was the angel? He said,
say, I saw going on here. Come. Stop up that.
God, you see what I said? You see?
Yeah, but that you could tell the people say fear God.
Not at all. I said, because how is it that you, as a man of God,
anybody,
you could have this in your house, you know?
Anybody.
He could have do it in your house as him.
Anybody who do this, just don't fear God, man.
You could have done this in your house, sir. You could have set up all your lights, your cameras, and your action in your... It's supposed to be in the church?
Yeah, Jade, like...
Oh. You could have got to a hotel, sir.
But I think he was going for a specific scene.
I mean, clearly.
I think he was going for a specific scene.
That's an actual category on porn sites. Don't ask someone.
No idea. But it's
the church was more spontaneous.
There's nothing spontaneous about this, Jade.
Not at all.
The imported lights, they flew. The day before, the lady done say what she gonna do.
Yeah, the lady done said, bye, tomorrow they're gonna defile the house of God. And they did. They did, bye. I feel like I need to repent after reading the story and all.
No, but Jay, the thing about it is we keep hearing these types of this institution.
That's my problem with this. We keep hearing these types of stories.
But this particular institution, right? I just feel it for the for the followers here. I don't feel it for them because
you're listening to a man.
It's hard to even try and explain this.
That your pastor in the church getting freaky. Like, oh, you got to.
No, like if that was the case, then fine.
What? What I mean?
No, I'm saying if that was the case, meaning it was this one particular isolated case, then cool. Like you could say this particular person, like had a problem, right? But we're hearing this too much. Like it's too much of these types of things coming out. Too many sexual scandals.
I am not.
Too many sexual scandals. So it tells me that it almost feels like there's something inherently inherently
Wrong with these people?
wrong somewhere. Perhaps in the selection process. I don't know, but okay. Bear in mind, a few years ago, I literally read, because I was very, after they were having all these issues with pedophilia and stuff like that. I read the report, I read the report, Jade. Remember the church did an independent report. I read the report.
It was wild, innit?
It was very wild, Jade, because to my understanding, the reason that was given for this seemingly
Pedophilic
no,
pandemic?
wow, large amount of instances of this type of behavior was the love revolution, the peace and love revolution of the 1960s. And I was like, what?
So, hold on.
And that had infiltrated the church at a certain point. I'm just like, what?
Let's don't do that.
I couldn't understand what was happening.
Because
I was like,
that is nonsense, Azim. That is nonsense and a cop-out. Tell the truth. Something about these...
It's not something. I told you what it is, Jade. If certain positions, right? Certain positions attract certain personalities and temperaments.
What about being a priest attracts you to being a pedophile? I don't understand the correlation.
What I'm saying is... the vast majority, right, of heterosexual men are not going into a job where part of the job is that you have to be abstinent and celibate.
I understand that. I just don't understand.
You have to abstain and be celibate.
Okay.
Like, so what happens is when you see men that are going into that, it's not an automatic, hey, this person has an issue. But you have to recognize that you have to be even more diligent about who you allow in those positions. Because you must be acknowledged that you have to, but normal people ain't coming here. So it's, for instance, right? It's the same thing what we talk about with things like the police force, the army, etc. A lot of men aren't going into that without certain temperaments, right? As a matter of fact,
One being anger issues.
A lot of men who go in have a certain aggressive temperament.
Yep.
Now, that's not to say that going into the army doesn't provide you with some discipline to be able to control those feelings, right? And so you could then morph that temperament into a part of your character that is positive. So that's not what we're talking about. But the fact is, the army have to recognize we're basically giving people license to go kill people here. We're teaching them how to do it as efficiently as possible. We might get a couple psychopaths in here.
A little bit.
So you have to be mindful of that when you're going through the process.
That is understandable.
To try and filter out them there because...
No, I understand. That I just don't understand. Okay, because for me it's like, it is most, according to the study that I'm sure you read, it is most Catholic priests that are the ones that have these pedophilic tendencies. Which is what I don't understand.
But that's why I just tell you, because they're the ones that attract a certain type of temperament.
Yeah, but you could have liked anything else. like you see how this pastor was in there just being freaky with the two girls.
No, but the funny thing about it is, watch, he now get disrobed, right? He get disrobed
twice.
Yeah, twice. Well, at least. Because we never had to shoot the scenes a couple times. Yeah, because it seemed like a very high quality production.
I tell you,
but what I'm saying is, this guy, he gets disrobed, they burn up the altar, they run him out the church, all of this going on. The man literally gone jail, get charges or whatever.
Well, no, it was a suspended sentence, saying on jail.
Oh, okay. But he get a... But when we see some of these other things, it seems as though the punishment in some cases was just literally a vacation at a posh. But
they don't move them from church to church.
So...
you have a scandal here in this Catholic church. The priest was in here,
What the name of the little ghetto where they used to go to?
Oh, I watch it in a docu-series on Netflix,
Yeah. But as I tell you, I feel it for the believers, because the believers them now, it's like, you got to answer these kind of questions again.
Yeah, your pastor is a pedophile. Your pastor is a pedophile, Them two things ain't even supposed to go together. Ever. In any kind of sentence. I nearly hit you just now, friend. A mosquito was right there, and then nearly boxing your neck.
Appreciate you didn't.
Yeah.
Appreciate the restraint.
Yeah. You don't look bad for you.
But yeah,
It's wild.
the issue is that too many times we individualize these things and not recognize that there's trends, and that you're gonna have to take steps. You're gonna have to take steps in order to at least limit the infiltration of these certain elements into your organization.
Which is crazy because we know that there's a trend where like the people overseeing the priests and all of these things refuse to believe that this is what the priests them doing. They refuse to believe that the priest is a pedophile or the priest in the church, the file in the church and all. If there was no video, right? Because they get the video thing. They probably wasn't going to believe that that's what the priest was in there doing.
Jade, but God works in mysterious ways.
Because
How this man just walking past the church and walk out, but the light's a little too bright.
What made the light?
Like that, like
You
walking past the church and just walk out, the light's too bright.
Bye.
So you're gonna see what's going on.
And see your pastor and you're bending over two things. Boy, it's a wild one.
Jade, don't come back for this topic here. You're wilding right now.
I wilding? The man in the church was a wilding. Me. No problem. Let's take a break, guys. We'll be right back with more Island Tea right here on With Media SKN.
Come as you are.
That's what you know what?
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Triple that cash back. From now until December 31st, Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store is going to triple that cash back. You heard right. Hosford's is going to triple that never-ending cash back now with 3 big ways to save. 1. Get low monthly and weekly payments and no payment until February 2023. 2. Get a chance to win absolutely free groceries for 1 year. 3. Triple that never-ending cashback at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store for even more groceries. Triple that cashback today at Hosford. Triple the savings. Triple the free groceries. Triple the extraordinary. Triple that never-ending cashback today. See store for details.
Vinyl killers on the beat. Straight from the streets.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It's Thursday, November 24th, and we're jumping into the second hour of the show. And to start us off, we have a very special guest,
Indeed.
Friend of the show. He's been here before, and really looking forward to this conversation because, of course, there's a lot going on. So
He's been here before in so many capacities,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like every time he comes, it's
it's
something
else.
different.
And we got to refer to him as something different because now, of course, he has a few other titles in front of his name.
Yeah.
And the last time you were here, we actually offered you best wishes on your campaign and in the upcoming elections, and you were successful in becoming the parliamentary representative for constituency number 4. In studio with us, we have none other than the Honorable Samal Duggins. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. It's a beautiful morning today, and I am doing fairly well. Yes.
Fairly well. We could work with that.
Yeah, man.
We could work with that. But how has it been stepping into this new role? First time parliamentarian. I would imagine that it must be a lot to adapt to, coming from where you were just a few months ago to the responsibilities that you have now. So what has that transition been like for you?
You know what? It has been quite an interesting transition, I must say. Coming from being in your own business, that part isn't as different because you're leading in one end and you're now leading on another end. But I must say, if I thought I was busy before, this trumps it all. Before I always had people commenting on, like, you're always busy, you're always doing stuff. This is a whole different type of busy.
Yeah, this is almost like your life is not your own, I could imagine.
Trust, like most days from, say, 8 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night,
right.
No breather.
Wow. I could imagine. And I really thought the main change for you would have been the move from primarily polo shirts to button-up shirts and ties.
That too.
That too. How many suits does Samal have?
No, but it's part of the job.
Yeah, that too.
What, you have to dress or you want to be addressed?
But that, and you have to respect the office too, right?
True.
Because part of it is not just me. I'm in an office that I must also give respect to.
Right, of course. And then speaking of the office and the amount of work that that particular role entails, I know that you guys just commemorated or recognized the first 100 days of the administration being elected. And I know that there has been a lot of how should I put it? Just recognition of the work and the efforts that the administration has been undertaking. In particular, what are some of your highlights as minister? Firstly, I don't want to miss anything because I feel like you have a very intense portfolio. So
Very.
Minister of Agriculture.
Yes.
Minister of the Cultural Economy, Creative Economy, sorry. And small business, and is sports also part of that?
So, if I may.
Yes, please.
So, my portfolio includes agriculture, fisheries, marine resources, cooperatives, and that all falls under one ministry, which we generally refer to as the Ministry of Agriculture.
Right.
And then I'm also over the Ministry of Sports and the Creative Economy, which would consume sports, culture, and entertainment and talent development.
Okay.
So that's all now one ministry. And as well, I am also over the Ministry of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development. So yeah, so generally it's 3 ministries, but if we look at them and dissect them, at some point it would have been about 7.
Well.
Right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, even in regards to those particular ministries, there seems to be, at least for a number of them, some very clear overlaps, right? And so the ability to collaborate within those ministries, being under one minister, I would suspect really aids in getting things done, and it kind of supports the actions of the ministry or the the ministry attaining their objectives. And speaking of objectives, like what I was asking is, at least from your standpoint, what are some of the highlights?
The highlights
of what you would have achieved within your first 100 days as a minister?
I mean, there are a number of highlights that I could point to outwardly, and then there's some that would not be recognized until people understand the structure that is being built. But if I would go into it, I would say even the creation of the creative economy as a ministry, and the small business development and entrepreneurship ministry. And why I identify those two mainly up front is that what we saw were issues where you had separate entities operating in ministries that did not have collaboration or any cohesion, and they were designed to do the same thing. And some of them had specific operating functions, but just couldn't come together because they sat on the two different ministers with two different visions in two different ministries that were going two different directions. So what we were able to do was to bring all of those elements together where there were clear overlaps and merge them into one ministry. Case in point, culture and the creative economy. Culture and entertainment, talent development. A lot of what culture does, not everything, but a lot of it had to do with development in the arts and dance and drumming, but that's all part of entertainment and talent development as well.
Okay.
So culture was responsible for going and teaching drumming in the school. Isn't that talent development? But talent development was part of entrepreneurship and entertainment.
Right.
So we brought all those elements together. So now there's just one clear, seamless move forward.
All right.
Similarly, again, with entrepreneurship and small business development, we had entrepreneurship being paired with talent development and entertainment. And then you had SBDC, which is Small Business Development Center, in trade. And SBDC had its mandate, and entrepreneurship had its mandate, and although they were designed to cater to the same audience, they were walking two separate paths.
Understood.
And now bringing them together, we were able to deliver on some of our campaign commitments easily. Like when I went out there, I promised duty concessions on tools of trade. Yesterday I sat signing off duty concessions and tools of trade. Commitment kept.
Right. So I mean, in terms of looking at the ministries or the departments and trying to ensure that there is, like you said, collaboration, cohesion as it relates to their particular goals. We then have a department that some persons may not clearly see why it is involved in the creative economy, for instance, or under your portfolio in a sense, which would be sports. And so...
So, sorry, it's not in the creative economy.
Right, but it is
a part of... It's its own department, a part of one ministry.
Right.
So it's sports and the creative economy.
Right.
That is actually the ministry.
Right. So people may look at that and say, what is the thought process behind that, as opposed to perhaps having it be a part of talent development, where some persons may more clearly see where that link is.
But talent development is also linked in that same ministry.
Right. So
yes.
So for persons who may be having that question, could you clarify what the thought process is, or the goal is in relation to merging those two, at least having them under the same minister and being a similar department?
Yes. So as we start to kind of construct things in an efficient way, that ministry in particular was considered under the orange economy, and the objectives of the orange economy. And we recognize that sports was clearly aligned with most of those objectives with the orange economy. And so if you're developing areas of the orange economy, then it was just a natural fit to put sports in there. We didn't name it orange economy, we just named it creative economy.
Right.
And then you look at it as well from the aspects of economics and part of what we want to do with national development. And sports is also aligned with the talent development that we want to position because traditionally we've all been trained and to be accountant, doctors, and lawyers, and all of these fancy, smancy things that they ask us to be. But I know sportsmen who make much more money. So why are we not encouraging our students to see that as a viable career path? So to entertainers. And so my job and my role is partly to enhance these areas so that they could be considered as viable economic career path for our people. Yes.
Right. And I mean, this is something that would have been discussed for time immemorial. I know we would have had discussions about this over the years, even about what are some of the challenges to achieving just that. And of course, this is something that I'm sure would have to be wide-reaching and deep. But from your personal belief and perhaps even your assessment, speaking to people within the industry, what are some of the ways where we go about making that particular cultural shift from just seeing these particular avenues as being more than just hobbies?
Celebrating the successes, because we've had persons who would have benefited from making sports careers. In my own constituency, I could speak to Gerard Williams, one of the most decorated national footballers that we have.
Big up Baby Malonga one time.
Who is currently captain of a team in India.
Right.
Right? And being paid to play football.
Right.
And Gerard is a special case because Gerard has been paid to play football since he was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That is just about the only job he has ever had.
Right.
And he survives by playing football. You have a number of other persons. Our new FA president, recently installed, I think it was last year,
right.
Atiba Harris, made a life playing football. So it's not that we don't have the case studies and the success stories. We have them. It's just to celebrate the successes and have people recognize that it is a viable option.
Right.
And, you know, we've started doing that. In my own constituency, I have the young star, Tiquani Williams, who played less than half of last season and came out with the Golden Boot. Less than half of the games in the season. And came out of the league as the leading goal scorer. So you must understand
right.
the talent. And in celebration, we placed a billboard in the community in his honor.
Right. And I think that has been what has really been lacking, a true highlighting of the examples of success.
Correct.
Right? And it gives a certain credibility to the discussion around these particular avenues being ones that are, viable careers, right? And so lovely. I'm loving to hear that, because I think even in entertainment, that is something that we have to work on creating and then highlighting the examples of success. With that being the mentality, I really look forward to more of that type of thing.
And this is it. And, for me, in recognizing that you mentioned entertainment. And in our case, we started off with the lower hanging fruit, where we started celebrating persons who would have contributed to Carnival and its development. Now, Carnival this year is celebrating 51 years. And we had the Carnival Awards that we launched last week, if I remember correctly, or just
I think about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, just a week before. And we celebrated the persons from 51 years ago. Mr. Henderson, who would have brought the concept to St. Kitts all the way through. All of the queens, all of the Calypso kings, all of the soca monarchs, all of the people that would have made, valuable, well, let me don't say all, but many of them, because you can never celebrate all in one go.
Right.
And this is projected to be an annual activity. And as well as him, that we are planning to expand that into the wider scope of the entertainment field. So this is what it's about. You start by celebrating your successes, and then people become more aware of what is out there and what can be done and how they could access it, and that they could live whatever their dream is without having to conform to what traditional society has said to them that they should, you know?
Yeah, it brings a certain level of belief and reality to the utterances. I use the example all the time. Prior to 2008, a mother would be tucking in her son at night and say, "Hey, you could be the president of the United States, as a black man." And that might have been true. But in 2008, after Obama's election, that same utterance just rings a bit more true and has a bit more impact because of the example. So that definitely is a big part of what it is, recognizing that we do have a cultural issue in terms of the way we view some of these non-traditional avenues of our career avenues. So is there anything even outside of the way that the ministries have been structured that you are happy to have taken place since you've been in?
Certainly. I mean, looking at, there's so much. But let me break it down, because then it's such a wide scope. Let's take a ministry like agriculture. I came in on the commitment of transforming the agricultural landscape, making St. Kitts a net exporter. Okay. These are the things that I committed to. Launching and developing the cannabis industry. These are the things that I committed to, and looking at it now, we are now working on ensuring that all farms have some sort of access to water. We've started that project and we are continuing it and we're pushing towards that. In a number of ways, we've developed a number of areas where we could tap into for water catchment. We're discussing in areas where it's difficult for that, maybe the development of desal plants that could then feed into some areas that would free water up for farming. We are discussing other on-farm catchment facilities, and we are investing in that to benefit the farmers. But beyond that, we also have a number of deals on the table that, I am very, very happy for. And given the next fiscal year and things going well, I believe that by 2025, St. Kitts could be practically a net exporter by 2025. But I understand what that means for me, and I want to break that into context as well, that our general public understands. Currently, we import close to $140 million worth of food.
Right. Okay.
It then means we will now be exporting close to $140 million worth of food.
Okay.
And also covering a large portion of that import bill. So it then means somewhere throughout this island, $140 million will be circulating for people who want to tap into that industry.
Right. So it does seem as though the ministries that you have under your belt do have a certain long ingrained culture in itself. Outside of even the fact that culture it falls under your portfolio. But when we start talking about agriculture, the move to becoming more food secure, exporting, and I'm sure as part of that there must be plans and thoughts towards agro-processing and so forth and so forth. It does seem as though we have a culture where that somehow limits what we've been able to do. How do we then change that, recognizing that we do have the potential? It's just about being able to tap into it and then giving the resources necessary to the persons involved to achieve this.
So it starts clearly with the real political will to get it done, because the resources really are more abundant at that level.
Right.
And stepping in and actually getting to view the entire scope of what was done and what was available, it was difficult for me to understand why it wasn't done. Like within 100 days, like I said, I've already tapped into water and fencing and on a real way. But I could say, no, we have a whole plan for the next 10 years for agriculture.
Okay.
We have the transformational growth and strategic plan for the next 10 years up until 2031. But that is what the first 100 days was like, digging in and planning and projecting and understanding. Because first to plan, you have to understand what was done before. Then you have to evaluate that and then look at what you want to do in the future and then see how they both connect and what is missing in the middle to connect both. And we've been able to do that and finalize that plan.
So whereas and of course I'm outside looking in, it would feel as though, like I mentioned, that it was a culture that existed and that needed a cultural shift. You're saying that a big part of that was a lack of resources, not necessarily just the fact that the way we look at agriculture was what was maybe slowing some of that progress.
Well, it was both. It was both. But again, when I say a lack of resources, the application of resources, because a lot of the resources were actually there, but they were not properly applied. And then you had, let's think about it. Outside of sugar production, our agriculture industry outside of that is just about, 17 years old? Because it was only in 2005 that we moved away from sugar. So, and then sugar had its own stigma, because at that time we were working at the bottom of the food chain.
Right.
And people had a disdain for that. So there was a culture that was agriculture is bad, because in agriculture you only work at the bottom of the food chain and you at the lowest level.
Right.
It's now bringing back the culture to recognize that there's a whole food chain, and now you can operate at any level of the food chain, even the top. And if we look at the top of the food chain of even sugar, much of Europe was built out of it.
Right.
So we understand.
And countries still to this day continue to benefit greatly from this production.
Correct.
Right.
So we understand that when you go up the food chain in agriculture, agriculture is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And so even in our context, if we become a net exporter, that's $140 million annually, like I said, that will be somewhere circulating around the island. That means if we were to allocate to farmers fairly, evenly, that's 140 million years you could create every year. Now, if you put that into context, there's a viable means of economic development in that. And it is teaching our people that part of it, and no longer seeing themselves as just laborers in the soil and, you're going to work and you're going to get dirty. But why are you getting dirty? Because I know when I plant these trees, they're going to be X amount that will cost X amount and will bring me X amount of revenue. And the more you could showcase that line up the food chain, then I believe people's cultural perception will shift back to a more positive one. And I'm a case in point. Prior to being here, been involved in agriculture.
Right. I think that, and this seems to be a theme now that I'm seeing come to, which is developing and showcasing success and examples of such, to then encourage people and to show people that, hey, this is what is possible, and there's nothing that excludes you from partaking in what it is that that person was able to achieve.
But that's it.
Right.
But beyond even the ministerial aspects, one of the things that I'm probably most proud about, though,
what's that?
My commitment to the constituency. Because one of the things that constituency number 4 to me had suffered from over the years was not a heavy return on commitment made to the constituency itself, in the sense that, as I look towards empowerment, and I thought about areas in the public sector, I could only point to, throughout the history of our independence, 39 years somewhere, about 3 persons from the constituency who would have been empowered to the position of let's even say the level of a permanent secretary, right? Now, for an entire constituency to in somewhere within 30 some odd years could only point to 3 persons, it starts giving you a perspective of, where it was. Within the last 7 years, nobody was promoted to director or higher in the public sector. So coming in within the first 100 days, I've been able to change that narrative. And not just change it in a reckless way, because I do stand committed to the national agenda of moving the country and transforming the country and pushing it forward. But let's take my Ministry of Agriculture, where the PS is qualified on paper, having degrees in agriculture, studying in Taiwan, passionate in agriculture, and now is driving the way forward for agriculture. And again, he happens to be a constituent, which I'm proud of. In my Ministry of Small Business and Entrepreneurship, my PS again, degreed in finance and accounting, runs a successful small business in the community for years, a staple small business, and is now driving the way for small business and entrepreneurship. Like, for me, I am so committed to this transformational agenda, that I am not putting nobody in no place that they don't fit. You have to be competent, you have to be passionate. Because we know you could go to school and get a paper.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I want to see that passion. And so for me, being able to do that, and as I look at my new director of sports, again, a passionate sports guy in Jeffrey Hazel, Pedro, passionate sports guy, qualified sports guy. Again, now driving the sporting agenda forward for the national good. And when I look at that and the empowerment of the people that put me here to empower them, I am proud of what I've been able to do. And, there are other stories, but beyond just that is the idea that just over a month after being elected, I've been in my constituency doing one-on-one sessions every single week.
I'm sure the people of your constituency they appreciate that very much. I could imagine.
Every single week. So after independence celebrations were over, and we settled down, every week.
Yeah, I think that that has been a cry from constituents for some time. The feeling that and we say it, we hear it all the time. Oh, you only see the politician when election time coming and that kind of thing. So to hear that is something that you have committed yourself to, I think that's admirable. And it does feel as though there's an understanding that there are areas that need real change. A word that you've used a lot since you've been here is transformation, right? And so with that in mind, I know we're looking forward to seeing how these agendas play out and what is on the horizon. Unfortunately, the time is fast spent, so that means you're going to come back.
Yes, because there's some questions people are posing to me, so I had to explain to them, you know what, this is not the day for questions, but the next time he's back.
If you have time, I don't mind, but
our guest is outside waiting.
Okay, well, I understand.
Yeah, they're under your umbrella as well, so we have to give them their time.
Yes.
So definitely when you come back, we will chat some more on some stuff that they have questions on.
Indeed. And I'm always happy to discuss the hard work that we've been doing. The ministries that I oversee, we've been at work for the last 3-4 months. We've been at it. And much of it you may not see because it's planning for the next fiscal year. Because remember, we came in third quarter of the budget. September, October, November. Budget is December. Budget. So we came in third quarter. So you're getting the residuals of somebody else's budget, and we had to make that work up until now as we plan what next budget will be like.
Right.
Yes, so we working. We definitely committed to the work that we're doing, and I'm seeing the success, and I'm happy about it, and I could even sit here now and guarantee that transformational agenda that we committed to well on the way. Well on the way.
All right. Well, Minister Duggins, appreciate you again.
Minister Duggins, wow.
Really?
Listen.
I respect him in the office.
Yes.
But I appreciate you taking the time out again to come and hang out with us. And thank you so much. And of course, like I said, you're always welcome here. And we're looking forward to the next time that you come and hang out with us and the sippers right here on Island Tea.
Definitely. So thank you for that. And thank you to the general public. And thank you to constituency number 4 for putting me in the position to lead and chart the way forward. And I and always will be committed to doing just that nationally and empowering the constituency wherever I see that it is fit to do so.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back. As Jade said, we got some friends in the studio ready to come in. So we're going to take a short break. Stick and stay. Don't go anywhere.
When they start them there, we are top man, we take charge. Have no reaching now, we are shell down hard. Blast like a star with some gallopar. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man then. Wine with the style, no stop from spin. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine, for the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Celebrating 70 years. Can you believe it? Everyone loves a Shirley biscuit, known for its rich, creamy taste, as well as the iconic house and flower design. We all know Shirley is the perfect on-the-go snack, and it's truly the Caribbean's favorite. Simply put, there's nothing quite like a Shirley biscuit. I can't imagine life without it. I too love my Shirley.
It's the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
When they start them there, we are top man, we take charge. Have no reaching now, we are shell down hard. Blast like a star with some gallopar. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man then. Wine with the style, no stop from spin. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine, for the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. And as we said before the break, we're actually being joined by some friends in the studio. Some really cool people. I know all of them actually. The one in the polka dot shirt coming here, she gonna finger them. But guys, what she do? Is what she do. You gonna come in here threatening me, Jade? She more like the Evangelical Association.
Lord, watching you.
But guys, I have some really cool people in here from the St. Kitts-Nevis National Carnival Committee, specifically the Soca and Calypso Committee, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm allowed them to introduce themselves. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Radio Land. My name is Sharice Quilly, Sub-Committee Chair for Senior Calypso.
Good morning, Radio Land. My name is Samal Joseph, Deputy Chair for Soca Manac.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carissa Roberts, and I'm the subcommittee chair for Junior Calypso Monarch.
Well, we got some music people in here, Jade. We got the music people in the studio with us. And, guys, when we start talking about Calypso, last week we actually had Vincent who was in here, and he was talking about, street activities and stuff like that, like, the Juve and the parade and such. But we know a big part of what drives Carnival is the music. Like, there can be no Carnival without the music, without the Calypso, without the Soca. And the Soca Monarch competition, as well as the Senior Monarch competition, and of course the feeder competition, the Junior Calypso. These are the places where people look to see the music showcased in all its glory, right? How has things been coming with you guys' respective competitions?
Okay, I'll start first because my show is first. So, with the Junior Calypso Monarch, it will be on the 9th of December at the corner of 4th and Central Street. So it will come after the Sugar Mass Festive Friday Lime.
Oh, so that's Festive Friday, and then we jump right into the Junior Calypso competition.
Yes, so Festive Friday Lime in the day, and then in the night we finish off with the show.
Oh, so what time we could expect this show to start?
Well, because all of our participants are coming from Nevis, we would ideally like an early start so that we can get them back home safely.
All right.
So probably about 7 will be good enough. Okay. As a wink, wink.
7 is so good to me. And I know that you mentioned that, the majority, if not all of the participants, all are coming from Nevis. And Nevis has a rich tradition through their culture for the Junior Calypso. How has you've been hearing the songs? You excited about the competition?
Yes, I think that the children, they have good content. One of the songs that is being played on the radio is from the defending king, Invincible.
Big up Invincible one time.
And his song is Fake Profile. Like, you don't even have to wonder what is he talking about. We lived through it for 2022, especially because it was an election year. Right. And then there's another one, Masquerade, and then they have Mommy Crying. So the songs are very relevant and they have good content, and the children are ready and they're very competitive.
Oh yeah. We know this. And I know for sure that it is a good move to kind of incorporate this particular competition into some of the other activities like the Festive Friday, because it really does allow people to really see what these children have on offer, as opposed to putting it up in the park and it's all night.
Yes, that's true.
So I would hope that was one of the thought processes behind the bringing the competition to the people.
Yes, I think it's, like you said, I think it's a good idea, because in December usually every day is Friday. Sometimes we forget what date it is in December. So we just want to encourage persons to stick around and support the children, because they really need our support. They are getting ready. And like I said, they are very competitive and they intend to put out a good show. Like one of them said, he's not going to bring a good performance, he's going to bring his best performance. So, right there, he done. Show done. So come on out and support the children, because they really need our support.
And just for the reminder, give the sippers the date again.
All right, so the Junior Calypso Monarch takes place on the 9th of December after the Sugar Mass Festive Friday Lime. So see you there.
All right, nice. Well, Shama.
Good day. Good morning.
Yes, he tried to be all official as well.
That's right.
Good day, Azami. Well, you are involved, of course, in Soca Monarch, and Soca Monarch, I think, has really grown over the years, and I think last year it really made a resurgence. How you feel about the position that the competition is in going into this year?
Well, going into this year, I can say the competition from last year continued into this year with the same back and forth, and artists already wine each other.
Oh,
So all of them literally against each other. Just yesterday we had a meeting, and the meeting had a lot of side bars because, everybody wanted to say, I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you.
Right,
this one, you ain't winning this year, and all that continued from last year right into this year. So I can say yes, I'm happy with the continuation of the animosity between each other, but in a friendly way. Yes.
And I know that does help to drive the hype behind the competition. And when is the semifinals, the eliminations? What is it that we're doing this year? Is there a recording? How we firstly, what has been the response from the artists? You guys have a lot of entrance into the competition?
Well, I can give you official numbers right now. For Groovy, we have 18 registered songs, and for Power, we have 20. What? So as we can see, yes, they did live up to the registration numbers, and they did come out and submit the song right on time.
Okay.
So eliminations is the 3rd and 4th, Groovy and Power, Carnival Village at 7 o'clock. And they will be performing over backing track, so it won't be a track elimination like last year. We listened to the soca artist Problems last year, and we fixed it with this by backing track.
So we're allowing the artists to perform.
Yes,
nice.
Yes, we are this year. So 7 o'clock, the 3rd and the 4th, eliminations, and then the 21st is the finals. Yes, and we will be having 8 participants in the finals. And for example, Power, we have defending champ Mr. Hype and Nicha B. For Groovy, so yes.
Okay, nice. So even in terms of what you have been hearing, how the soca artists came this year, how the music sounding?
Well, the music, I'm gonna be honest, the music is sounding good. We commended many artists for coming out early this year, because that's always a problem. I would say there's a good amount of competition within.
The competition tight?
Yes, it is. It really is. And I'm being honest. Yes, the competition is really tight, and the commissions we know helping those
to drive
the music and push forward into the finals. That some already said they ain't already. So yeah.
Well,
yes.
Soca Monarch is usually a staple of Carnival. That's something that people honestly look forward to.
Yes.
Each and every year, there's no Carnival without Soca Monarch.
That's so true.
We need to see when to take the crown. We need to see the performances, the theatrics especially. So I feel like a lot of people is definitely looking forward to see what these artists are going to bring this year.
To continue, today, Mr. Bagnall is back after 2 years of a hiatus, releasing his music. Already submitted, but he's releasing to the media now, the ear now. So even people like that are coming back with a vengeance,
right?
To capture the crown. Because in 2019, before COVID, he was the king for Power, if I'm not mistaken. So he's coming back for the crown that he forfeited, and he's competing for it this year.
Well, I mean, one of the things with the Soca Monarch competition in particular is the fact that certain personalities really do help to bring a certain level of excitement to the event, and we're really looking forward to seeing some of these guys who and women who we really look forward to hearing the music and seeing the performances.
So you, AKA Molly Media, AKA Molly Media. We must commend him. 2 years now he carrying Soca Monarch on his back, literally, without even making it to the finals.
Yeah.
He carried it on his back from day one, carrying registration forms to artists for them to sign up. Meeting them on their work, say, here the form, sign up. So we must commend people like Molly Media for sure.
Yeah, for trying for keeping that hype going.
Yes, every year.
Nice. And just give the listeners again the dates for both the eliminations and the finals.
So eliminations, 3rd and 4th, Groovy and Power, 7 o'clock, Carnival Village. And finals, the 21st, which is a Wednesday, partying all week. Wednesday, the 21st, 7 o'clock. And to announce to the radio listeners, Soca Monarch now have a title sponsor, which is Digicel.
Oh.
So we are very grateful and thankful for them for coming on board this year. Yes.
Nice. Big up Digicel one time.
Indeed.
Well, there's this young lady over there. they are trying to play like Shisha, but we know better.
Yeah.
Who has, I would say, a heavy weight on her shoulders, dealing with the Calypso competition. Calypso is even more than just the tradition of carnival. It's you can't have carnival with no Calypso.
It's ridiculous.
That's true.
And so how is it? Let me ask you this first. Like, how is it, having to manage not only the expectations of the public in terms of the Calypso competition, but even just dealing with the Calypsonians, because we could imagine that there's a lot of different personalities.
A lot.
So how has that been for you, dealing with that?
Because I've been doing it for years, it's a smooth paper for me. Most of them are older than me, so it's like I still believe they give me a lot of respect, just of how I give them the respect.
So there's a level of trust between you and the Calypsonians that you guys develop over the years, I'm sure.
Yes. And I sure most of them, or if not all, have a lot of confidence in me. When they tell me something, I'll get back to the Carnival Committee and smooth it out. Sometimes we'll, big people operate, but at the end of the day, we are always there still.
Yeah, it's all for the love of Kaiso.
Yep.
But Sharice, I know there has already been Calypso in the ear.
Yes. Sakuti Legends already had 2 tents.
Oh, ma'am.
And they're having the next one this Friday, and they're having one Sunday. And Sunday. Which Grandmasters, which is Proud Sound, just having the tent this Sunday at Spatnet. Legends tent this weekend. One of them is going to be in Sandy Point at the marketplace.
Okay.
We're having the next one again this weekend again, Legends again at the Crawford. So this weekend we'll be having a lot of tents. So the public can go out and support the Calypsonians them. Trust me, they are practicing very hard. Maybe that's why Proud Sound just about having a tent, the first tent so far. Hoping that we'll get another one from them before the elimination,
right.
Which my elimination is the 10th and the 11th of December. Reason for the tonight is because I have 56 Calypsonians registered this year.
That is insane.
Yes.
Well, people ain't just excited for the road after COVID. They come like people got a lot on the chest.
Yes.
People got a lot on the chest to sing.
Chest heavy.
When you hear like people that sing like cock.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. All kind of different names of song people bringing in this year, and I sure the public are longing to hear them. Some of them are on the radio station. You can tune into Zella is there. You can tune into Freedom, because to this morning I've been hearing couple, and I just want the general public to come on out and support them. And on the 29th of November, that is our final show, which this year I'm going to
December.
10. Yeah, this year for finals I'm going with 10 finalists, 9 from elimination, and the reigning king, which is 10. So first time I'm doing something like that again.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, if with all these entrants and with all these amazing songs, I'm happy to hear that we're going to have a final show that is really a real showcase of the cream of the crop, those that would have gotten to that point. But before we even get down to finals, one of the things that I know persons are very excited about as it relates to Calypso is the tents are back in the open, back in the public.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is such a big part of the tent culture and what we look forward to.
Calypso,
and going around to the different venues and taking Calypso to the community and to the people.
Yeah, strip it back.
I also want to big up my sponsor for this year is Flow. So this year my Calypso is sponsored by Flow. So it's Flow Senior Calypso.
Oh, nice. Well, it's always lovely to see members of the corporate community coming on board and supporting events like this that are such a big part of our culture, a big part of what it is that we look forward to during this festive season. But I personally passed by rehearsals last night for Proud Sound. I could tell people
it's lovely.
The bands are practicing. The songs are very creative. Some of the songs are already making waves. Some of the songs are already making waves, and so and when Calypso start and the 10 start, that's when by Carnival start.
Carnival starting,
yeah, Carnival start.
I mean, one of the highlights of the tents is always the host. Can we get? Can we say what you're looking the other way?
Well, for this year for Senior Calypso, Monarch is Legends host and. Boy, I must say this one, boy.
Well, you ain't really got to say it, because
people understand.
The other way, so they just
for
tell
Proud
me.
Sound, my host for Proud Sound this year is Short Pants, better known as Chris Roberts.
Yes.
So I know.
Mr. Moon,
yes.
I didn't know that. That's okay now?
No. What you think? You don't do that. Your father is a national hero. You should be proud of him.
But yes, that's all a part of Calypso, because we know that we had a very festive year in St. Kitts, and people look forward to getting a summary or reminder of in jokes form, what happened in St. Kitts this year. So people are looking forward to that. And like you said, once 10th happening, Carnival start.
That's a lot, man.
Mr. Moonlight got people asking me about some alleged party that happened in my house some years ago. Till this day, Till this day. And for the record, I just want to put it out there. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Sure you don't. Sure.
Because he like to expose people, whether it's true or not. That's just him.
All is bad. Kaiso.
All truth.
But it's really a great feeling to know that after COVID, and we are thankful. We're thankful for what we had the past 2 years. What the Carnival Committee was able to achieve, given the constraints. With the virtual carnival and what we had last year, but to see that this year we are getting back to Calypso and soca in all its glory, like I know the level of excitement is just through the roof. And I just want to big up you guys for the hard work that you guys have been doing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we would also like to commend you too.
That's why
you can't give all the flowers and then give yourself love. Come on.
I just
so we're putting you on the spot right now.
I just talking on the mic, guys.
No, you're
so
not.
On behalf of all of us on this side of the mirror, we would like to
thank you, Azim.
Thank you so much, Azim.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Hey, but
describe.
But
so there's a question on the live. They want to know if there will be any tents happening in Nevis.
That's up to the bands.
That's up to the bands. That's up to Legends, and that's up to Proud Sounds.
Because of course the tents are really supported by the committee, but a lot of what they do is really organized by the bands themselves.
Yes.
But that's an idea, guys. So all the persons in Nevis that want Calypso to come over there, reach out to the band leaders, let them know that there's a market there for that.
Yes.
And each band having person from Nevis, so you can even reach out to those who are singing in those bands and encourage them. Which I'll do the same. I'll reach out to Wingwo, which is the band leader for Proud Sound, and I'll reach out to Sakwati, which is the band leader for Legends.
Because and that is a big thing, because we mentioned it already with the Junior Calypso, how basically there's such a big representation from Nevis in that particular competition, but it's the same for both soca and of course Calypso.
Yes.
We have a lot of divisions who really are really now staples in the competition as well. So it's definitely a national competition. Definitely something that encompasses both islands within the federation. Like this carnival, soca, Calypso thing is really for all of us, and it don't matter what your sensibilities are. I know that there is something that will appeal to you between these three competitions. Just because it's our music, right? It's our music, and it really resonates with all of us. So, guys, man, trust me, the level of excitement that I have. Love like excitement. Even last night I was looking at the Calypsonians interacting with one another. I could tell that there's really a community, a community and a band, and they're all really looking forward to making this a full, not even just a competition, but a full season of great music. So yeah, man, thank you guys so much again. Thank you guys so much. Any final words? You know what? Just let the people again know what dates that they need to circle on their calendar for these events.
All right, so Just a reminder that the Junior Calypso Monarch takes place on December 9th. And I'm encouraging you again to come out and support the children and support the entire carnival, because I think we should treat this one as a revenge carnival.
Revenge.
It's a revenge carnival. And always remember that despite what happened in the last 2 years, tough times don't last, only tough people do.
Boom bam.
So,
oh, that's gang.
Support. Bye as. But yes, come on out and support the Junior Calypso Monarch on December 9th.
Well, Digicel Soca Monarch, 3rd and 4th for eliminations, and the 21st for the finals. Yes.
Flow Senior Calypso, elimination 10th and 11th, Carnival Village, and on the 29th of December, Senior Finals. Come on out and support the Senior Calypso as they battle for the new reigning king, or same person, who knows?
Or queen. Who knows?
Or queen.
Yes.
Well, guys, trust me. And of course, when we talk about Calypso, we just mentioned it, but remember, guys, 10th done start
Long
all
time.
weekend. If you ain't gonna hit a 10th, I
You
passed.
can go from
I passed,
Friday to Sunday.
Yes, I
All
passed
weekend.
down by the one last week by
Champions.
the champions
Yes.
down in Port Zante, and that was great. And guys, please go out, support the Calypsonians, get your Calypso fix, and get ready, because we know by the time elimination and finals come, we want y'all singing word for word.
Yes.
Right?
Word for word in the
Join
crowd
in.
until they come with the special verse. Them you don't know what that means.
Third verse is a thing. Third verse is a thing.
But guys, thank you guys so much for coming in, letting us know how things are going with the soca and calypso competitions. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. Oh, you guys didn't even mention who the actual chair of the committee is. Yeah, big him up.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Our partner, OG Brown.
Big up OG Brown one time.
Yes.
Big up OG one time.
How could we forget OG Lord, man? We mean it, OG, if you're listening.
We apologize.
Lot of love. Big up Paddocks.
And of course, Shama, you want to mention who is your coach
Well,
here?
good morning. Listening. Thank you for your contribution towards soca, and do you continue?
Our headache.
That's why I bring him in here anyway.
Yeah, you buy cat.
But thank you guys again so much. Appreciate it. And we're gonna be seeing you out through the season, man. Trust me.
Yeah, yes.
Because we know the sippers them going out and support soca and calypso.
Yes, definitely.
All right, guys.
Thanks again.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you too.
Jade, a lot of home time. A lot of things happening, girl.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling the carnival spirit.
Jade, I tell you, once 10 start, that's it, yeah. Carnival start, yeah.
True.
Carnival start. I know. Hey. OG and the live laughing. OG. Well, say that again, Shama.
You want to say it live on the
Oh,
radio?
JD, I was told to introduce myself to you.
Oh, you
Eleanor
were?
son.
I'm sorry?
Eleanor Joseph. Eleanor Joseph.
Is his mom.
I want never gonna go. She used to be a ear hostess.
Me?
But
no,
wrong, Jade.
no.
Wrong, Jade.
So who over here? I have information.
You see your sister watching you?
Oh boy,
Nah.
this guy. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, being a part of the show. Whether you joined us on Facebook, YouTube, any of the other digital media platforms with mediaskin.com, make sure to check it out for all your daily news, updates. But we appreciate you so much. If you joined us via the radio, 98.9 FM, big up yourself. Turn up that dial loud, right? But Jade, I'm going to tell you the guests that we had this morning, of course, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, coming in here, spending some time with us, letting us know about kind of what has been happening and what the plans are moving forward. And of course, the Kitts-Nevis Carnival Committee coming in and hanging out with us as well. That's definitely a big plus.
Definitely.
Keeping us up to date with what is going on. But we got to leave. We got to go. We got to send back. Yeah. It's that time of day. Yeah.
Tomorrow we have a special surprise for you guys.
Surprise tomorrow?
Yeah, well, a regional one. Yes, early, bright and early. So stick and stay for that one tomorrow, guys. Today's Thursday. Have a good pre-weekend. Yes. Get some rest. I'm talking to myself with this one.
Oh yeah, Jade, you need it. Jade, I'm gonna call you to make sure you're sleeping.
I mean, answer, you know what I mean.
But guys, yes, of course, have a great day, have a productive day. Thank you so much again for being a part of it. Really appreciate it. Big up the sippers them. I'm not gonna see y'all through town and through the place today.
Of course.
And as always, I really do like when you guys come up and give me a little criticisms, give me a support. And yeah, trust me, we say this every day, but we say it every day because it really does mean a lot to us when you guys let us know that you are part of the sipping team, right? So big up yourself one time. All the people on the live, man, keeping it live jiggy. Sometimes I wish I was on the live, yeah.
Yeah, over there for man.
Yeah. And for those of you who listen online, whether it is Facebook or YouTube, yeah, go down in the chat. There's a nice little community there of sippers. That is really a good vibe. Really a good vibe over there.
You're supposed to have some cricket in the park today, you know.
Is today the cricket supposed to be?
Yeah, but I can't. I'm trying to find.
Oh, speaking of cricket, somebody mentioned it on the live when we were talking to the minister, and I want to highlight it as well. Steve Liebert, my classmate, big up yourself, Steve.
All right.
He is actually now coaching the West Indies under-19 female team.
Oh.
So big up Steve one time. He's also one of our sportsmen that have been able to really take sports and create a career for himself. So big up Steve one time.
And speaking of cricket, once again, I have to shout out to something that's coming up right around the corner on December 3rd. It's called Big Six.
Big Six?
T20. Right there at Warner Park Cricket Stadium. It will be the Maximum Strikers out of St. Kitts versus the Owali Sports Management out of Nevis. Competition stiff. Yes, to get you in, it's only $15 on the South Stand and East Mound. The party stand is just $25, and you will have some live performances and drinks and food specials. So please go out and support
T20 cricket, people.
I'm telling you, between St. Kitts and Nevis.
Grudge match.
My money on St. Kitts, eh? I mean, naturally.
Yeah, naturally.
Okay, now, boy, I swear that.
Yeah. Big up the Nevis people one time. You know, we have big listenership over there.
We love ours still, but just know the Maximum Strikers.
When it come to cricket, I can't even say it with a straight face, but we're back in St. Kitts.
Yeah, come on.
We're back in St. Kitts. But guys, thank you so much for being a part of it. Please remember to learn from the losses of others. Also, please remember to spend more time living your content than posting it. Or filming it. Lord have mercy. Literally. Have mercy on him. Have mercy on them.
Them.
Yeah.
All of them.
All three of them.
He gonna repent, because that's how it works. When you do something bad,
you just repent and you go to God again?
You just say, what you supposed to say? Father, forgive me. And all is well in the world again. So he good.
Right.
That's what they say. Work great.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah, and of course, guys, most importantly, please remember that you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you guys tomorrow.